United we stand. Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with Sally Pride, Lioness Leader. One of the biggest menaces in TMNT Draft, this is a token-making, board-buffing cat that has an awful lot of good cards that you can play with. In mono white, even though she does make red tokens, you want to have as many non-token creatures as you can. Then Sally Pride comes into play and you make that many 2/2 red mutants. And when she attacks in, you'll put counters on all your creatures, which means you also want to give her haste. The best cards in this deck aren't just the things that, give her haste or maybe give you additional triggers, but also cards that get you additional non-token creatures. Whether it's Ranger Captain of Eos that puts a 1-drop into your hand, or Inquisitor Captain, which can put something into play, the things that go wide with non-tokens are especially good with Sally Pride. And with many mono-white things, you also have access to big board buffs like Elish Norn or Flowering of the White Tree, so you can make all your creatures even stronger, or just a little bit more power off something like, giving them indestructible, +1/+1 counters or additional tokens, or ramping up with Claim Jumper. In fact, because this deck has a 5-mana commander, I'm running all of the cards that are catch-ups on lands that happen to also be creatures. Claim Jumper and Loyal Warhound are also great, and Knight of the White Orchid really help you build up your battlefield fast, catch up to those landfall decks, and hit them with a huge army of mutants. So let's take Sally Pride into the queue and be the mutant menace that mono white deserves. Hashaton has a ton of good cards that you can make 4/4 copies of by paying the low cost of 3 mana when you discard them. Whether I make them discard, that's not really something my deck does, or they discard cards to their own abilities, they'll be able to get 3 mana copies of even like 10+ mana spells. Hashaton is one of those cards that's really scary, and I kept this hand because it has 2 potential ways to get rid of him. Skyclave Apparition and Unidentified Hovership are both really good against commanders because it is a permanent exile, so typically they don't want to, play into it. There's a free discard outlet right there. I can play my Haster. I'm actually going to airbend it. Just make it so they have to pay 2 more mana to play this again. Oftentimes, by the way, Hashaton is also playing just like cheap reanimation spells, since, hey, you just make a copy, you can still reanimate the thing. So you're playing all these discarders, you might as well. How do you do, fellow Esper Sentinel? I kind of like holding up the mana tithe here. Even though it would let them draw. Oh, hold up. What you doing? Crashing Drawbridge, my beloved. Hey, you could have replayed this. You could have played that. Do you pay the 1? Of course you don't. But, like, neither do I. I'm gonna tithe their counterspell. We each get to draw off that, which is kind of delightful for me. And I don't want to give them a trade. Counterspell Wars. A Mox Amber.
Do you pay the 1?
They did. Okay, cool. They can play Hashaton here. And then next turn, I think they'll have enough mana to discard and reanimate. So immediately, I'm just firing off removal on this thing. Skyclave or Hovership? I can pay the 1, so I'm going to go Hovership. Yes, I do. Hashaton be gone. And because I do want to attack... This, by the way, did not trigger the Ascension because it's not a creature. Crew up. Give it haste. Swing for 2. Likeness Looter, it loots. That's its ability. It can also become copies of creatures in the graveyard, which currently is none. It's only your graveyard, right? Yeah, in your graveyard. Doot, doot. Both of us just like, yes, paying the one. I could have paid the one once. We know they have 2 different ways to do the discards. I want to draw a card, so I'm going to play Enduring Innocence. And we are giving. You're giving. We are ruining. Nice, a land. Okay, Hovership. Sentinel again. Everybody gets haste. I'm actually attacking with the giver here. It will lose haste at the end of turn, so it won't be able to do the protection. But guess what I am? Aggro. Need to hit face. Yeah, it's weird being aggro with like the 5 mana commander. At least she's got a crazy good ETB. They could play Hashaton. Ooh, no! They're gonna wipe out all my 1 toughness creatures with Archfiend of Ifnir. This is discard synergy. R.I.P. Esper Sentinel. R.I.P. Enduring Innocence. That seriously sets me back on the number of creatures I have. But you know what? Not too worried. Here comes Sally. I put on full control mode, so I can use her. Oh, actually, I'm gonna... I'm gonna use her to crew. Because I want to go for the haste. Nah. I'm not using her for that. I would rather attack with the hover ship, though. You give the haste. Everybody except for Giver. There we go. Give you protection from black. And then in end step, I'm going to blink Sally. Hello, I'm wide. Now, if they play, like, Perforator Crocodile, frickin' rip. And if they don't, hey! Now, they have 2 cards they can discard and 1 card they can loot. So they can give, I think, -3/-3 across the board here, which is tough. It'll take out all my tokens, my sweet giver. They're giving, sending, ending! But at least they're just kind of like discarding cards to do that. And they're at 5 life. Sally's like, no, my Mutanimals! They have 4 mana. They could play Hashaton. There's an Ashen Rider in their graveyard. That's important. I'd say Ashen Rider is one of like the better cards with Hashaton. A Flowering of the White Tree. I like it. I like it. So we have an end step blink. What I'm trying to decide if I want to do is like blink the hover ship. As just like doing a kill. Okay, so they're taking that trade. So they're putting themselves into top deck city, which I'm totally into. I'm planning on blinking this drawbridge. Even though it gives haste, I want to reset the counters that are on it. All right, and we want the Charming Prince thing to come back first. There we go. We draw. Now we blink Sally. And we go wide. Once again. All right, what did you draw? Now, Likeness Looter. You know what she's got? She can loot. And if it's a creature, Shucks. Okay, no, they're going for the Archfiend of Ifnir first. They're like, okay, I gotta wipe these out. I got Fire in the White Tree, though, so, like, I got an extra bit of power and toughness. But it's not enough because they only have one in hand. And Sally's gonna wipe out those -1/-1s with some plus fun. GG, Hashaton. Breya, Ethereum Shaper. Enters play, makes 2 Thopters, and can sacrifice any artifacts to kill things, or destroy planeswalkers, or deal damage to your face, or gain some life. Which does add up to, oftentimes, this being an artifact deck. Now, not all Breyas are artifact decks. Some of them are just kind of 4-color good stuff. But based on the fact that they just played a Golbez, they're an artifact stack, which I respect an artifact stack. I have this Loyal Warhound that I drew, which will be good for next turn. I think I'll buff the Lorehound, or not Lorehound, Warhound, to make it so it's, like, I don't know, big enough to attack and trade with Breya, not just the Thopter. Except it still won't be, because it has 1 toughness. Hi, Tezzeret. Tezzeret, who gets an artifact card. Is it a Mox? An equipment? It's the Mox Opal. The Dopal Opal. I could smash it and then double spell next turn with this. I think that's better. I know, it's like, oh, but you also have Witch Enchanter. I'm sorry, which one? Oh, I should hit Den. I'm sorry, I'd already, like, thought, like, yeah, I'm hitting that thing. Buff the dog. Yeah, destroying a land's better. But Tezzeret's dead, which is great, so he can't tutor again. He can't untap things for additional mana. They can play it a Breya. But if they play Breya and don't have any mana up, once again, let me smash. Hey, a Breya. Means they're not able to sacrifice the things. And I'm gonna end up trading into these Thopters, I think, anyway. Somebody's asking, are the FIC cards in Arena? The Final Fantasy Commander cards, some of them are in Arena. The Face Commanders and some of the ones from the bundles are in Arena, but not all of them. Also, alt arts that were existing cards in Arena. The alt arts got added. Nice. Dowsing Device. They could sacrifice that to make a construct. Wow, they already transformed it. Nice. That gives them big haste, right? Yeah, big haste. I got pretty lucky, though, getting both Witch Enchanter and Loran early. They definitely have more lands than me, so Loyal Warhound. The Cloud from the Precons in Arena. Get him! But not all the cards, like, from the 99 are in. Alright, here's Breya. And they could, I think, and they should, like, turn a Thopter into a construct. Unless they're planning on, like, killing me through flying damage. Yeah. Get booped. Sally Pride. Haste it up. Crashing Drawbridge, by the way. Incredible in this deck. It's a creature for Sally. It gives haste. And it's also a good blocker if you happen to match into aggro. Okay. Going for the dog. And I think this is worth burning. I'm going to drop Guide of Souls to exile Breya. So she's gone next turn. They're able to replay her, I think, on their current mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, they would need one more, but they're not able to activate her, which is what I'm trying to like keep them away from. All right, the One Ring, which they can actually just like tick it up and then sacrifice it to Breya eventually, maybe. But I can't deal any damage next turn. I'm still attacking with Sally, though. She buffs everything. Ooh, a Nykthos. No, just Sally, I guess. Ka-chunk. A fine ka-chunk. I can use Fountain Port to sacrifice a token and draw if there's like a board wipe. Or I can make another token. Chat is praising me for my knowledge of 6-7. I was in a tournament at PAX East. I got second place. And let me just say, I wrecked it in the trivia section. Who knew that knowing things that had 6s and 7s in them, or being able to guess what 6s and 7s were in, would win me second place. Who got first? Jesse Cox. We had a final showdown that was like this silly Tetris balancing game, but neither of us took it very seriously. You could watch it in the VOD for the Twitch people. I'm pretty sure they like co-streamed it onto my channel. What kind of things were 6s and 7s in? Intel processor names, basketball team names, histories that had me naming dates. We got there. GG, Breya. Katara, Waterbending Master. I feel like I've matched into this person's Katara deck a bunch of times. It's always weird when that happens. I will mulligan since I have nothing on turn 1, and not really what I want on turn 2. I have some protection here, Mother of Runes. I have some aggro, Bossery, and I have a sweet little puppy dog. I'm going to bring out the Mother of Runes as turn 1 because, oh, this is a 1-3. It'll come out, and then they'll be countering stuff, bouncing stuff, flashing things in, doing Katara things. Bossery. We are giving. Anything getting countered? Oh, they're peeking at my hands. I went wide, which is very helpful. Having 3 1-drops is so nice for Sally. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna make so many mutants. Yeah, you are, girl. Bossery's gonna be like the most protected boy of all time. And I'm just out here like, or we could be cycling you. That's a land. I'll take it. I am going to pay 3 life. Recruiter of the Guard. Recruiter of the Guard is going to get me. Y'all already know. Solitude. Solitude. Eliminate that woman before she can gain any experience. They're like, no. Nope. Nope, not dealing with it. Davriel, Soul Broker. Going to be some mono black control. I can protect myself from single target removal with these guys. I have a little bit of card draw, a flicker effect, and hopefully I can just fill up the board. Make enough tokens, take them down. But with the number of like board wipes they have, that's tough. I'm actually going to start with Esper Sentinel over Mother of Runes, because a bit of card advantage will give me some sustain here, and they are absolutely playing non-creature spells. As I said, they're a control deck. Ooh. Mother of Runes, Giver of Runes. We are giving, we are sending. They will protect each other in a delightful circular hug. We'll just kind of like hold each other's hands as they wade through the darkness. Hi, Davriel. Davriel could take out a creature. Ooh, they're actually plussing. I was going to say, usually they go for the offers and conditions. So if I attack them, I have to discard. That's all right. I got cards I can discard. In fact, I think we're gonna be this girl right here. And I do want to attack a little bit there, but I'm actually like looking at what I have. It's just not really worth the attack. I'm going to play Cosmogrand Zenith. Pass the turn. Where's the Taker of Runes? I don't know if they've ever made Taker of Runes. All right, Davriel's going for offers and conditions. If I tacked in there, it would have been these two. But just getting the ping for 2 there wasn't quite worth it for me. A Languish. Ooh, that's rough. These guys cannot protect against Languish. So, walk into a board wipe. Feel the pain. Davriel's going to keep on getting various bonuses. This is actually one of the worst ones they could have gotten, Manor Guardian. So I'm happy about that. They're probably not as happy. And I'll play Witch Enchanter, even though it takes me off my 5th land, to get rid of their Arcane Signet. Taker of Runes. Choose a creature. It loses protection. It should have a passive that's like damage can't be prevented. Ward, hexproof are ignored, and creatures cannot gain protection, or something like that. Taker of Runes. Oh, hi, Shouldered by Witch Enchanter. I believe you have a toughness of 5, which means I can hoover it up. Get in the vacuum. When this leaves play, if they like kill it, destroy it, whatever, they will manifest dread, but Shouldered's gone forever. Oh yeah, and no Shroud either. The Taker of Runes. Don't even think about it. Blah, blah, blah. Bigs or littles? With Sally here? Because I'm at 5 mana. I think I'm just going to keep the Norn. Didn't play the Manor Guardian. I'll try to play Sally. I have to put full control mode on here because I would like to get an additional trigger. Go for the throat. Okay. I will. Through in response. Now I don't need to have full control mode on. Meow. And a Baleful Mastery. Okay. I get to manifest dread. I still get a 1, like I still get 1 token. I'm just annoyed that Davriel's still alive. They lose a life. Huh. Davriel dies. Probably trying to get more of this. The spells you cast cost black less. By the way, his like offers and conditions only like briefly show up sometimes. All right, whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life and then you lose 6 life. That's horrifying for me. He discounted himself before. Here he is. More offers, more conditions. Yeah, if they can find Grizzlebrand, they can draw every card and set themselves up for infinite combos. Or if they get, is it Necrodominance is the one that draws cards, not put into exile? Okay. They got another spells cost less. I'll be plussing. This is one of the Final Fantasy signets, yeah. I like this one. I like the one that's like the Materia and Cloud Sword. That one's fun. Sure, what is this? Is it even a creature? Wait. Oh, I do get to see. Okay, so if we view battlefield, there's a Guardian Idol. Oh, yeah. One Planeswalker beats the other. Soul of Windgrace. Grabs lands from the graveyard, puts them into play under their control, and can also discard lands to gain life or draw a card or become indestructible. I don't have a crazy fast start here, but I think this is fine. I got a Sky Knight Squire on too. It's just one of those, like, I go second. What can I do about it? They're looking at my planes. Oh, I wonder if they're thinking, oh, she has Mana Tithe. Not this game. But it is in the deck. A Lotus Cobra. I think I gotta kill it. Lotus Cobra is in a deck that is running like every fetch land that's in these colors. Lotus Cobra is very good. And it pretty much guarantees like Soul of Windgrace would be coming out next turn, grabbing the fetch again, and they'd still have enough mana to cast more spells. So taking out the snake, I think is worth it. Lotus Cobra, Nissa Cobra. Yeah, and Tireless Provisioner. Whoo, Nelly. That's a card. I'm gonna play Guide of Souls into Spirited Companion. Playing the Sky Knight Squire with Guide of Souls would be like something that grows, but I kind of want a different card in hand. Like looking for something that's maybe Skyclave Apparition, something that can deal with Soul of Windgrace. Should you always bolt the Cobra? I think you should often bolt the Cobra. It ain't no bird. That's pretty good. If only I could have put the Cobra in the hole. That would have been a whole lot better. I'm thinking about like blocking and doing this. I'm just gonna do it now. Draw me something fun, please. Okay, that's a land. They attack in, they will get more lands. Ooh, and each land is going to put a card in exile that they can cast or play. But if they don't play or cast those cards, they still get to keep them. I got Lorraine that can take care of that, but I'm probably just playing Sally next turn. Making the Sky Knight Squire really big is good for me. I'm also planning on blinking the dog again. Draw me a card. Okay, they got Reanimate. There is a Cobra. That's it. They could Cobra, Reanimate, and play Augur because they have Misty Rainforest here. How was PAX? It was good! I've been showing off my second place medal from the PAX Arena Stream Stars event, which was very silly. And I love silly. Ooh, and they got a Utopia Sprawl. They can just chain every single spell they've gotten together here. Augur of Autumn. Blink the dog. Do you naturally get flying? Yeah, you do. Bark, bark. Bark, 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 bark. One dog begets another. Could Sally. Phyphelia first. Gives me enough for also whole. Okay. Sorcery Speed Felia. Choose a color. Cobra go down the hole. And Adeline or Lorraine? I'm going Lorraine. I'm taking out the Valakut expiration. I gave them so much stuff last turn. Guide of Souls swings in. I'll have it buff itself. Whee! They're down to 11 life. Atolli is such a good dog. She's very good with this cat, too. Cats and dogs working together is more likely than you'd think. Yeah, my throat is a little sore from PAX because I actually went out and did karaoke last night, which is not something I had planned to do. It's just something that happened. Oh god, that's infestation. Felia dies. They can boop, boop, and boop. Mm-hmm. That's still an angel. Yet Nick borrowed my badge yesterday to go to the convention, and he met some people who were talking about One Piece, and it turns out that they were like other content creator panelists. My partner's not a content creator. He sometimes shows up on my channel, I guess. And Nick got invited to do karaoke, brought me along. None of them knew I was a content creator, and they're just like, all right, this guy we met today just like brought his partner along. I hope she's fine. And then they're like, oh wait, oh god, I'm among kin here. Was this Sally o'clock? Such a small Sally. I think I'll go for the card draw with Welcoming Vampire. We attack in. Ooh, or do I not attack him? They're snuffing out Atolli. That's going to prevent me from getting the card draw. I'm going to buff Guide of Souls, though, so it doesn't have a -1/-1 counter on it. Why is Loran destroying stuff? Loran destroys artifacts because she discovers the secret of the Silex and tries to destroy it. Oh, and also I guess when they're like fleeing the area, they like have to destroy as much as they can. I'm like trying to remember from the Brothers War book. I said I think killing Welcoming Vampire. Yeah, they're myrtleizing her. 1 damage to this. And I'm gonna take a lot of damage from these. They're at 4 life, though. 4 life with a fetch. Lesbian stage. I'm like trying to remember what alt arts. And going to a convention and making friends is cool. I played Paper Momir yesterday, so I'm happy. Grist, I think they'll sacrifice... Yeah, like Augur or Infestation. Nope. Fury. Kill the Guide of Souls, so there's not a chance of me surprise hitting them in the face for lethal. Surprise, as if Sally doesn't just make a billion little guys. This is rough, because now all I have is Sally Pride. And if all I have is my pride, I will do my best. I played Paper Momir, like, in their beer garden. It was really fun. As an East Coaster, you're guessing I have strong opinions about bagels? I do! Also as the, I guess, daughter of a New York Jew. You're obsessed with Costco everything bagels. I've never had Costco's bagels, but I imagine they're not top tier. I would also say, like, everything bagels, to me, are like they're like a tier 0 bagel. As in, not best tier, I mean worst tier. Egg bagel? Magnificent. A little bit of rye split in with some pumpernickel. It's a good bagel. Salt? Sometimes I like a salt bagel. Very pretzely. Gain some life. But everything bagel? It's like you're covering up the taste of the bagel. What do you hate, bagels or something? Alright. Terrible news? I don't think I got it. I will play the Sanguine Evangelist. And I will do nothing. I'll lose the game. Good game. Bye! Raph and Mikey, troublemakers. Now, what I want is instant speed removal. And I have instant speed removal because Raph and Mikey comes in, attacks, and brings another creature from their deck in tapped and attacking. Raph and Mikey, there's two, I would say, major variants of the decks around. One of them only has one creature, and the other version has like 10 different creatures. I built mine with 10 different creatures. Okay, Arcane Signet. I can at least smash some of this. They haven't played another land, so I don't have this. Either of these will just kind of set up for some really good growth. If I play this, I have a potential double spell if I get a land next turn. Go for that. And you have to count their mana because they do want to get to 7. And something that's scary is that because they're in red, they have access to cards like Ironcrag Feet and Seething Song, which means that they can actually go from like 4 mana to 7 mana. You can play Raph and Mikey on like turn 3. Knight of the White Orchid. I would like a plains. I'm ramping. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, which means that I can play this. But you know what? I just got a Loran. I'm gonna destroy that Arcane Signet. Set them back a little bit on that ramp. Nice double spelling. Thank you, Knight of White Orchid. Non-land permanent. If I can destroy their ramp, I'm destroying their ramp. Seam Rip. It's like, oh, why not play Sally? Because they can deal more damage than I can possibly deal in a turn. And that's fair. Sky Knight Squire. Also, the wider I go before Sally, the more stuff I get. Ka-chunk. Wonder if they got a little burn spell here. Fireballs? Aw, man, that kills 3 of them. It's a very good choice. I have fire magic in my Raph and Mikey deck, too. Yeah. It is very much a count to 7 kind of deck. Oh, now Sally doesn't come with a major army. Land destruction, you say? I'm gonna try it. You know, if they have like an Abrade or a Lightning Bolt, Frostbite. Damn, I wanted to kill that snow-covered forest. Keep destroying the ramp. If they can't get the 7 mana, they can't play the commander. And then I don't have to hold up 2 mana for Get Lost. Eldrazi? What? Not ninja? Not turtle? Teenage mutant or otherwise? I'll swing in with the Witch Enchanter. Cool. Yeah, and it's all like non-creature ramp, because that's what they need to play. But it looks like they ran out of ramp. They didn't find what they needed. And I'm just out here with an Umazawa's Jitty. Good luck beating that. GG. Klothys, God of Destiny. Klothys will be exiling things from graveyard to either make mana or get some damage and gain some life. That first hand, it had removal, which I'm sure they have things I'll be able to kill. But like, Klothys is indestructible. She's not even a creature most of the time. My god, Elvish Mystic. Okay, of these, which would I rather drop from my hand? It's a Klothys. And like, do I need this land? I'm gonna drop the Prairie Survivalist. But I am going to Solitude the Elf. By a solitude. A solid dude. If they play like a little aggro boy, I think I'd definitely play this. Attack in first. He ain't no Ragavan, but you're not bad. This will discount all of these except for Crashing Drawbridge. They're surveilling. And they're keeping on top. All right, what acts of cruelty are coming my way? Klothys in play. There is a land in the graveyard, so they can use that to ramp. And this is going to become a land. Trying to decide if I'm going for the drawbridge. I think I am. I think I'm going to go drawbridge. Ocelot Pride. Delnia double triggers, but I don't have any triggers to double since I'm not gaining life. But if I get a land, that gives me Sally Pride, which would be sweet. Oh, is it Pyrokinesis? It's totally Pyrokinesis. I would actually, I think, just pop the drawbridge depending on what I have. And you can also, like, wait until your turn with Pyrokinesis. Unless you just, like, oh, I don't want to take two. No, they're killing Ocelot. They're killing Kithian. Let's see, what do they exile? Do they exile to sustain? Or do they exile to ramp? To exile to ramp, they get an extra mana. It means they could cast something that costs 5 here. And there's some really good 5-drops in green. Dang it, free spells. What card did they drop? Galvanic Blast, more removal. This could also be like a Gruul control deck. Aw, hi, Vibrance. They can bolt my face and get a land. Green of Glory, some haste enabling. I did not get a land. So I'm going to play Delny. And I am going to just, like, haste it in. Grab an Ocelot. I lose 2, they gain 2. The Delny into Sally would be so sweet. Boy, I'm not going to have these. So let's see which they kill. Probably Delny. They could also throw this in my face for 7. They're going for face. I'm now at 4 life. I did get a land. Sally Pride. Sally Pride with the double-double. Sally Pride with an act of great violence. We made 6. They all get buffed. Should have killed Delny. Should have killed Delny. Hearthhull, the World Seed. It's a spaceship, but they'll need to crew it up in order to, well, start sacrificing lands and killing me by sacrificing lands. I feel like Hearthhull is actually pretty easy to get to this, like, 8+. And it just plays really well with Jund land stuff. Hearthhull is, I'd say, like, probably the best, like, Jund lands commander. It's kind of hard. Like, is it better than Soul of Windgrace? I think it's better at, like, getting that last damage through. It's the only spacecraft commander I think that people really play. Ooh, an Ignoble Hierarch. And I drew a Seam Rip. I will put this into the Seam Rip. Always rip the goblin. Yeah, always rip the goblin. I put in Seam Rip and Portable Hole as just a... I haven't run into Rofellos yet, but when I do, I'll be ready. Hello, Vibrance. This is Vibrance for double green, which means they'll be getting a land. Wonder what land they want. It might just be like another fetch. I don't know. Probably. Nah, you can get the thing that you might fetch for. Depends on how many, like, bring all your lands back guys you have. I feel like the nastiest creature here is probably Ice Till Explorer. They're searching out. They also get to gain some life off this. Good sustain. I've used Vibrance to get Cavern of Souls in a lot of games because counter spells are real and they can hurt you. I don't know. Just a Thornspire Verge. Good fixin'. Voice of Victory. So my turns become a little bit more predictable. They can still cast things during their turns. And if they kill the Voice of Victory, well, there it goes. Oof. Wary of Zone Guard. That is, I would say, a must-kill card since it grows and brings back a land every turn. I can Swords to Plowshares her, and I think it's probably worth doing, especially because they don't have to attack. They can just tap it with Hearthhull. Ooh, you pushing? It's a swamp. Fatal Push. Great with fetches. And my creature count goes down by 1. Be gone, where is Zone Guard? I don't want to see you here. I do like that Survival, like, plays nicely with vehicles and spacecrafts. Because we had a vehicle set, and we had a spacecraft set. Too bad the actual Survival cards are not that good. This is like a alchemy card. I guess it's real. Hey, Lorand! Do the Lorand thing. Smash it. Ooh, Shifting Woodland could become a guy. A Vibrance. Well, now I can't. I think I am gonna go for the draw because I didn't get a land. A land! A land! Polluted Delta, more fetches. Primeval Titan. Gets them 2 lands of their choice. Probably don't have to spend as long searching this early, though. I don't know. They spent a while searching on Vibrance. Sometimes it's just the UI is bad. See if I get a land or not. I mean, even if I do get a land... I'm not sure if I would Sally Pride anyway, because it's not a great attack. Yeah, trying to do this on mobile is tough. I would not play anything that has a lot of, like, fetch lands on mobile. Things that have a lot of instants, things that will have a lot of fetch lands. Brawl in general, I think, is kind of tough for mobile play. The interface can take a while to load. Yeah, so they grabbed 2 Surveil lands. They kept whatever's on top. I think I got that dog in me. Bark. Bark. Symmetrical draw. A land! Okay. And chill. And now Nykthos is tapping for extra mana. Thanks to all that devotion. There's so much mana. 2, 4, 6, 8 mana. Yep. No! I needed those critters for Sally. I'd be able to still, like, Esper Sentinel, draw a card, and play Sally with a Nykthos in play. That's rough. This is going to get them landfall, and since they have a minimum of 2 landfalls, thanks to the Primeval Titan, they'll get an Elf or Elemental into their hand. What we got? Landfall. Landfall. That time they're like, I don't care what it is. As long as it makes mana, I'm grabbing it. That tells me they're not going for any, like, Valakut stuff, which is hard in 3 colors. They're not going for, I don't know, Thespian Stage. Whoa, 1 elf, please. Every time I say Sally Pride, you think I mean Kitty Pride? I mean, we're probably going to get a Kitty Pride card. Right? Like, how could we not get an X-Men set? Oh, no, they have a Dust Bowl. Okay, good. They didn't Dust Bowl my Nykthos. Draw a card. Huh. Hey, late game Gemstone Caverns. All right. Time for white. Time for colorless. And then we got Nykthos. Cool. I'm wide. I should look at the permanents they can turn that into. Vibrance. Oh, do you pay the 1? Madam Hearthhull. Hearthhull is a living ship, which is nice. What if we all lived inside of a giant bug? That would be nice. They're not attacking in. They're instead stationing. Hearthhull has haste and vigilance, so they can swing in and sacrifice and draw and do all that. What's all this? 5, 6? What's this 5 mana for? I think they have to manually tap. I think that they might have Scape Shift in hand, and the game is just pranking them. Yeah. Because they have green. They have green. They have green. But they just... I mean, the tap for everything is a QQ, though. I don't know if you can do that on mobile. Alright, they're going in for the attack first. Now Scape Shift. There it is. Woohoo! Okay, so that's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 damage. GG, Hearthhull. I won't make you do all the clicking. Hei Bai, Forest Guardian. Gets a shrine into play whenever it enters, which means you can just blink it for tons of value. I have turn 1, 2 kind of equivalent turn 2s, or this into double that. Ooh. I know what I'm doing. I want to set up for the Knight Errant. So this deck, sometimes Hei Bai decks are Blink focused, some of them are Enchantress focused, but many of them are actually just control decks using Hei Bai as a general value card, because 5 color has all the goods. Here comes Hei Bai. Let's see what shrine they get. It's Potion Tie of Life's Origin, and I see an enchantment in here, which means, thank goodness, I think it's actually Enchantress. Helpful Hunter. See what I draw. Pythian. Pythian. Spirited Companion. Knight Errant of Eos. We gone turbo mode here. Yeah. Oh my god, which ones do I want, though? Suki Spellbinder. If we get a land, I'm just tossing down Sally next turn. They're blinking Hei Bai. That gives them another shrine. And remember, they do have this, so that will give them another shrine. Ooh, I'll have to discard currently 4. They could actually set a stop, though, and blink this to increase the number of shrines they have. Nice Hobbit. Not a land. Is that the other card I had seen? It totally is. Enduring Innocence. Sky Knight Squire. killing the Goshen tie of Life's Origin. So I will do that. I know it's like, oh, technically I can wait until upkeep, see if they go to blink this. Nah. I'm just going in. Night Errant, you're the only 4/4 I got. Get in there. And then next turn, Sally. Because I had to drop everything there, so it was like, yeah, may as well. Hey, way to go! They give it the 2-year resub. Thank you for using your Prime to support my channel. It is appreciated. Elvish Mystic. A lot of little dorks. And, oh, there's a card draw shrine. That makes me happy that this is gone. We're still gonna draw 1, 2, 3, 4 the turn and then discard one, but hey, could be worse. Sally Pride! We're gonna make a very big Sky Knight Squire. Dude, nice. Remember, I have to discard anything anyway, so that was lucky. Okay, do I attack? Just these. Next turn is the big swing. It's like they have enough small blocks there that... Even though I guess they'd be trades... Nah, it's probably kind of neutral. You could just pressure them until like blocking that. Sanctum of Calm Waters. Draw a whole bunch of stuff. And discard. Llanowar Elves. Yeah, you already got Llanowar Elves. Okay, it's like Temu Llanowar Elves, but that's fine. But it's not Wish.com Llanowar Elves. That's Frintorn Elves. Extra turns! And another blinker! Yeah, that's fair. And I'm just out here like... Please don't get a Cyclonic Rift. At least it's tapped. Goes wide. But I'm already super wide because Sally came with 8 tokens. Also, I have a Sky Knight Squire. They can tap down one thing, though, for 4 mana. Whoa. Garilla got a cherry pitter. Cherry pies. Whenever I'm pitting cherries for, like, pie, I just, like, smash them and, like, rip the pit out. It's very messy. Also, the juice gets everywhere. I'm not a delicate scooper. Cherry pie. Sanctum of Fruitful Harvests. It does get them more triggers for more blockers, but the blockers will be tapped. So they blink Hei Bai. This goes on the stack. They did pay the 1, which kind of gains me life here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana up. Great news about that is 6 mana is not enough for Cyclonic Rift. Northern Air Temple, though, will gain them a bunch of life. Bring me back down to 27. Okay. I go to combat. Are you gonna tap Sally? No, they're tapping this because this is the thing that just kills them in the air. But Sally's still coming in. So are all the mutants. We're gonna cause some mayhem. GG, Hei Bai. It was destined to happen. We finally matched into a Rofellos. And I have a hand with none of my removal. Great 1-drops, though. I'd probably be naming Human on Cavern of Souls and just going nuts. But they go first, which means I can't do that. I have a Solitude here. That gets rid of Rofellos once. And it would stop me from being able to play the Giver of Runes here, since I would need to use it to exile to that. It's not a good hand, but it's the hand that can take out Rofellos once. Hate this guy. Taps for so much mana. We'll see what they got. A turn 1, perhaps ramp, or just doing what they doing. Gemstone Caverns, why do you like to show up on turn 2? All the time. You know what? I will simply draw a white spell to exile to this. Freaking hater Gemstone Caverns. Okay. Give me a tithe. Boop. It works for what I'm doing. Would have been nicer to have in my opening hand so I could just tithe the Rofellos. But I got this. I got all the lands in the world and a discount. This can't protect itself, so we may as well swing it. Draw, like, the best ever 3-drop here. Oh, hi, Nissa. Nissa's got the landfall. Ooh, okay. Delny I'm into. Gives me the double here. Not bad. Yeah, I would say that one of the things that this deck isn't really running much of is Graveyard Hate. There are a couple 2-drops in white that are okay Graveyard Hate, but I would say, like, overall, white's Graveyard Hate is kind of all or nothing, and it doesn't fit as well into, like, this aggro theme. There's, like, the 2-mana 3/2s, there's the Graveyard something cycle lady, Cemetery Guardian or something. But, like, the best cards for it are, like, Rest in Peace. And you can put that in. If you match into a lot of graveyard decks, which I haven't, you can absolutely put that in. You can even put in, like, I don't know, your Ghost Vacuums. Or I would say that the piece that's probably the most controlled and simplest to do is the Cat Coat. It's kind of like a Scavenging Ooze, but it's an Equipment Cat. And look, that's another cat for your cats. Hi, Formidable Speaker. Formidable Speaker gets to discard and then tutor for a critter. Yeah, Lion Slash. Lion Sash. That's the thing. Cat Coat. They dropped an Echoing Cavern. And they're grabbing. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they play a land, 6 or 7 maybe mana. And if it's a fetch land, 8. Ew, Ice Till Explorer. Yeah, there's one of the things you can use Graveyard Hate on. Sally Pride with the doubled trigger. Pretty nice. But no good attacks here. But now I have, a multitude of mutants. Ice Till will kind of go off, though, especially with the Nissa here. They can play this. It will give them 2 triggers. They'll get an Elf or Elemental into hand. They'll also gain a life. Somebody in chat's asking, do you feel you need Winter Orb in Muldrotha? What? Wouldn't Winter Orb be bad for you? I'm not remembering what Winter Orb does. No, I don't know why you'd do it in Muldrotha. I was gonna say, yeah, I thought it was like a lands thing. And I don't think Muldrotha has any, like, built-in tapping stuff. Yeah, Muldrotha's just good. Oh, Mesmeric Orb, you meant. No, I don't think you need it. I think it's fun, though. It's a fun way to fill up the graveyard, but we have more permanents that are also very good at filling up graveyards. Ashaya, who is a land, will turn these all into lands, trigger the landfall. So they have 1, 2, 3 mana up. Sylvan Safekeeper lets them sacrifice their lands, which is also their creatures. If they want to generate more mana here, they could use Formidable Speaker to untap Fanatic of Ronas. Yep, and that brings them up to, hey, you want to play Rofellos? Rofellos, who would tap for 13 plus mana. He doesn't have haste, but still. Him entering will still get them another mana here. Mill them again. Nice Nykthos. Make you a 2/2. Actually, I should have used the Nykthos for that. Yeah, I guess I won't be playing this. Yeah. We ride. The chunk. The chunk. Pro green. Might have been actually better to attack with that. You've all the mana in the world. Also, a Scouring Storm Shell that they can just return. But I have a ton of damage. The Delny into Sally is so good. I think the ultimate curve in this deck is like Crashing Drawbridge, like any one drop, Crashing Drawbridge, Delny, I guess Roaming Throne would give you even more doubles, and then like Sally Pride. Killing it. You can sacrifice it in response, I guess. Or sacrifice something else to give it protection. Shroud? Shroud. Legally not protection. Close combat, Cosmic Ram Zenith. Howdy. It's all about what the cast here. They have all the mana in the world. So if it's, say, Emrakul, that could be bad. I'm not currently dead to the onboard damage. Okay, so they're milling. And I see a Crater Hoof Behemoth. That's going to be game. Hoof. There it is. Took no one. Admittedly, if I had attacked with that, I think they wouldn't have double blocked. They would have gone one-on-one-on-one, and it still would have been not quite lethal. Okay, why are you still doing this? There we go. It's like, dog, it's your go. You have lethal. Negative 49. A little bit of death. Sig Wanderwine Wisdom is an evasive Azorius creature that can draw you cards and protect your things to make sure they get through and draw more. I have nothing really early here, so I'm going to throw this back. And I think this is better. I have removal for Sig. I have an Esper Sentinel for some taxes. I have other weird removal. I guess it'd be removal for you. I'll start with the Seam Rep, since that's able to protect them. Here's Sig. Uncounterable. Not that it matters too much. But if I hadn't gotten rid of that, they could have used it to draw a card. Alright, I will try to get rid of Sig. There is no Sig. That is significant. I'm going to lead with Knight of White Orchid because they have 3 lands, and I have 2. What I like about this is it brings in a land untapped. I'm ramping. They're 3 steps ahead, but they can't pay the 1! Wait, they're not countering it. Wait, I thought that was a... They don't have double blue. They hardly have blue at all. Well, well, well. Guess who gets to hold up a faithful absence? I do. They blew it. Your fancy lands. Do I let them draw? No. I will try to lead with Case of the Gateway Express. I will pay the 1. Boop. Cool, that's gone. I'll swing in. Imagine I have a bunch of creatures with flash too. Most Sig decks I run into are very much like Azorius Tempo. Haven't seen them yet though. Oh, well, there was one in the graveyard, Flitterwing. It doesn't have flash, it's just like a good tempo creature. Elspeth, Stormslayer. They cannot pay the 1. I'm going to kill her in response, so they do not get double tokens. They just get the 1, and we get the win. Atolli, Primal Conqueror. Ramps up to 7, and then plays spells for free from each player's deck. And if they have a little bit of mana, they can flip them over and kill you with a single toxic hit. I've got Curve, though, so I'm going to keep this hand. I got turn 1, Guide of Souls, turn 2, Flowering of the White Tree, turn 3, Recruiter into something. I don't know what something, but something. Take it. Flowering will protect this by giving it additional power and toughness. Additional power on top of that to my legends, and also a little bit of ward. Guide of Souls comes in, it's for 2. Yeah, Atolli's typically a ton of just ramp, Atolli. And a couple other big boys since you have the mana to play them. Of course I get all my lands this turn. I had a game that I had many lands that I did not really want. Recruiter of the Guard against Atolli. I do not have the I don't have a way to like prevent them from getting things into play, but I can Loran. I can destroy the Iron Crag. I think that that's a pretty good move. So, like, Delny would be the most aggro thing if I went, like, Arcane Signet, Delny, Sally. But I want to slow them down because I do expect them to have some board wipes. Brotherhood's End. Maybe Burn Down the House. Oh, Roboroid. I guess that wins the game all on its own. I will play Castle Ardenvale, Arcane Signet, and Loran. Take out the Iron Crag. Yeah, Lorraine gets the extra buff off Flowering. So this will go up to a 6-8? Is that right? No. 4-6. Right, I know number. Yeah, destroying their ramp feels good to me. See if they play any other creatures. Yeah, good Gruul stuff in Atolli works, too. Play your ramp. Play your biggins. If they have creatures, I think they would want to play them first. Like Fable the Mirror Breaker. Gets them a Goblin. The Goblin gets the buff. You don't attack in because I'm able to double block. Sally Pride. Bringing in an army. I'm feeling like a giant flying Loran here would be pretty sweet. Let's do it. Go my giant flying Loran. We have a pretty good clock on all the rest of these too. Unless, of course, we get board wiped, in which case... Womp womp. Yeah, this doesn't have trample, so on its own, it is, like, scary, but it's not terrifying. Not when I produce tokens. Loom Tender, but it doesn't have haste. They are able to play Atolli next turn, assuming all of this survives as it is. But I don't think they get it next turn with how this is, because I have so much damage. It's like, oh yeah, they have damage too. I have way more damage than them. Because remember, Sally's toughin' buffin'. Ooh, Roaming Throne. More buff. I'll name Cat. I'll swing in. Sally believes she can fly. Oh, those are some wonderful sounding ka-chunks. They're like, it's just lethal in the air, I think. Not gonna bother animal sanctuarying. Just gonna take the kill. GG, Atolli. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. Sally Pride turned out very well, and I'm really happy that I get to play this card here. This is one of the cards that, like, I think this is really great art. I feel like this card honestly could fit into Magic outside of the TMNT set, because, I mean, it could just be like a Leonin on, like, Kamigawa or Nuka Pena, something like that. And I like her design. I don't know, like, cute punk cat girl with, like, a whole bunch of, like, vibrantly colored people behind them. I think this card is rad. And also, it gave me an excuse to call a deck Kitty Pryde, which I bet Kitty Pryde will be a Magic card. I don't think she's been revealed yet, but I feel like she'd be in an X-Men set, because why wouldn't you have that? That's spelled slightly differently, but, you know, same vibe. I feel like this deck, though, it worked really well. I liked the blink synergies in it. I liked the go wide stuff, and the ability doublers are absurd. Roaming Throne, Delany, even Elishnorn for just that ETB, all go nuts on this. And, like, just doubling up the tokens off something like Elspeth. I had Mondrak in my earlier build of this, but since I have so few tokens-related things, I did end up taking it out. If you want to add it back, though, it's easy enough to do, because a lot of this deck is just good enough to hold its own, since mono white aggro does mono white aggro things like attacking, exiling stuff, attacking again. I really like Sally Pride, and I will recommend this deck. If you're looking for the deck list, you can find it in the description of the video. And if you'd like to suggest a commander, whether it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, or one from any of the sets that we've had recently, maybe even something I've recorded before but you think could use an upgrade, please let me know in the comments. When multiple people suggest things, I try to hop on those right away. And I'm trying to record lots of videos in advance of a trip. I'm going to be traveling soon. I just finished going to PAX East, and well, hopefully there will be many videos with many cool commanders to tide you over. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.